What's up everyone? Wanted to show you how to remove tape and extensions if you are stuck at home and unable to get into your stylist. It is very important that you don't let your extensions go for too long, staying in your hair, tangling or matting. That will cause damage to the hair, and some breakage and some bald spots as well can be a result of not maintaining your extensions properly. So if you are in need of taking out your extensions in the meantime until everyone can get back into the salons and back to normal life, then this video is for you.
All right, so the first step is to take your solvent and spray it on all of your extensions and let it soak in. The most basic form of solvent is alcohol. So most brands are going to have a nice fancy package selling you isopropyl alcohol in a spray bottle. Some brands like Babe has a bit of an oil combination in there as well, which I like because it also helps to take the tackiness out of the hair when removing the extensions. So I only have one row of extension, and the two in the front are actually double sandwiches. The ones in the back are single sandwiches. So they're only gonna have a piece of tape on the underside to take off, and then the actual hair attachment on the top side to take off. So if you have a lot of extensions in your hair, you're gonna wanna section off your hair and do it in rows. So I've just gone ahead there and did a messy section. But again, if you have lots of extensions, you're gonna wanna section it out and work with clean sections, going row by row, doing this. Spray, let it soak, and then go back to the first extension where you first sprayed. Then what I do is I take a fine tooth comb. I like the metal ones. You can use a plastic pointy comb as well, but metal does work best. I stick it into the middle to edge of the extension, not quite in the middle, as I find it takes too much tension to pull the comb out to the side. So if you get closer to the edge, it works better. Once you stick the comb in, you're going to want to hold the extension on the edge and slide it down and out. So you should be able to have an edge to pick and peel off the extension. If you by chance end up having glue stuck or left over in the hair, don't panic. Slowly try to comb it through. If it gets stuck, just pull apart the hair so you're able to separate the glue from the hair and continue to comb it down to the ends or until you're able to pick it out of the hair. Once you're able to get that free edge on the extension, you're going to want to pinch the edge of the extension in the glue and then hold your hair at the root. And if they're grown out, this should be easy. If they're new extensions, it's not going to be easy. So it's definitely best to let the extension grow out a little bit. So once you got that pressure on the roots, pinch and then peel the extension away slowly. As I mentioned earlier, I do have two methods in my hair. One is the full sandwich and one is the single side tape for fine hair use. Sometimes those ends tend to curl up, so they can be a little bit more difficult to work with. So just have patience when you are removing those and being sure that you are getting all the glue off. So I'm almost finished working my row here, coming towards the other end, just continuing the same process throughout the whole head. Again, if you have more than one row of extensions, do it row by row. Otherwise, the solvent will tend to dry up and then you'll just end up using more product to get the extensions out. You should, by this point, be starting to look like a drowned rat, as I do, especially if you're using an oil-based formula. As you can see, I'm not using a mirror for the back. I find that sometimes just mixes me up. So when you're working on your own hair, it's always best to just do it by feel, and sometimes using a handheld mirror to check the back if you do need to do so. Coming up on my last few extensions, as you can see, and I had just finished removing the single side extension tab there. Now, going over the process again, grab the extension, get the tail comb in between the hair and the glue as best you can, and then pinch the root and peel away. So as you can see here, the actual glue has stuck to my hair. So this is a perfect example to show you guys what could possibly happen to you at home. Basically, when this happens, it's a real see you next Tuesday. So the first thing I do is I go back and spray more solvent on it. If it's somewhat dislodged, I'll try to comb it out. That might push it further down the hair shaft, making it a little bit easier to get out, being more dispersed and not attached to as many hairs as it would be closer to the root. So it's hard to see the angle just because I'm filming by myself, but with the solvent, I was able to dislodge it and then continue combing down through the ends. And you can see I'm not losing too much hair. You will have some hair in the tapes and the extensions when you take them out, because naturally hair will shed every day. So when it's trapped in the extensions with the glue, it's obviously not going to be able to shed. I'm not sure why I look so perplexed during this tutorial, but I'm just concentrating really hard on making sure I don't pull out any of my natural hair. Always have to be very gentle, and again, I know I've said it before, but I'll say it again, patient, especially when it comes to matting in the hair. Yay, now we finally removed all of the extensions. It's always the nicest feeling to brush your hair without extensions right down through the root onto the scalp. If you're finding any gummy bits still in the hair, go back in, comb through with your fine tooth comb, really make sure that you've gotten that gummy bit out. Of course, if you've struggled to get it all out, that's totally fine. They will come out naturally on their own over the next. All right, now they're out and they are ready to be washed and prepped. The next step to prep your extensions is to take off the glue. So I get a paper towel. I use the paper towel to peel off the glue. I always find it just gives it that little bit better grip to get the tape off, and as well prevent your hands from getting all gummy. Do this to all of your extensions and then they'll be ready to get washed. So after you finish doing this to all of your extensions, you're gonna wanna wash them with the clarifying shampoo and conditioner. I tend to clarify them twice just to make sure you've gotten off all the alcohol and the gummy old bits, and make sure they're prepped and ready to go for reinstallation. And you're gonna wanna do the same with your regular hair. I always like to blow dry my hair after with a paddle brush just to give it a nice stimulation to the scalp and make sure that I've gotten out all the gummy bits as well. Hope you enjoyed my tutorial on how to remove tape and extensions at home. And if you have any questions, DM me, and please feel free to like and comment on my video.